Hey guys, Cindy over paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. We are working on Tina's mask makes. We're on day 80, guys. Can you believe it? I can't believe we've made it 80 days. I will say I'm sorry about the last couple of videos. The last two went out later in the morning than normal. Yesterday's went out later because we had a power outage and my upload got interrupted. So, yeah, that was the other one was just, for some reason, our internet has been running a little slower than normal. And I just couldn't stay up and wait for it. So I ended up going to bed. So I waited and posted it the next morning when it was finished. Anyway, so apologies for that. Hopefully this one will go out early in the morning like they have been. And, well, early in the morning for me. I'm not up on all the time zones. So anyway, today we are doing paper ruffles, having said all of that. And this is basically what we're making. These little guys. So a little ruffle. And we're going to decorate some of these with some trim. Like you can decorate, you can put stuff up through the middle to decorate the center of your ruffles, which I'm looking forward to because I'm going to get my box of trims down and we're going to find some narrow trims and we're going to decorate these up. Basically, all you're doing, this is not, absolutely not rocket science. You're folding paper like this in on itself. It's almost like an accordion fold, but short of, like an accordion fold would lay in on itself and stack. This is, it goes in and then back, and it doesn't meet at the same edge, so you're just extending it. I know, that made no sense. I got it. But basically, you're just folding this in a ruffle like you would a fabric ruffle. Only it's paper, so it folds and stays. Okay? And you get a ruffle. Now, you can do all kinds of different things with this. You can take this up to your sewing machine and run it through and stitch it to hold it down. And I might save some of these for stitching. The other thing is you can use a stapler. Okay, and we'll do some with a stapler. The other one, Tina said she saw Miss E do this. I'm going to get a quarter strip. This is some file folder scrap from when we were making journal covers the other day. And basically, I'm going to take this little strip. This is, I haven't tried the staples or anything yet, but this to me is a good method. For my money, I personally think that if you picked a trim and put a line of glue down here and stuck your trim down, that would hold it. Because that's basically what you're doing back here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take glue and I'm going to go down the middle of my ruffle. All the way down the middle. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it in the glue. Okay? And we're going to push the ruffle down and we're going to lay this in our glue and we're going to do it until it holds. Now, if you did it with hot glue, it would hold right away. I am not using hot glue and I am making a mess because I put a ton of glue down the middle of that. Well, it'll hold. Okay, so yuck. All right, and I'm going to peel it off of the deck. Nope, not that. Peel the ruffle off the deck. There we go. All right. And it all stays. Now, your ruffle is still kind of open up here. I mean, but it's stuck together back here with these. And then I just cut this short. So I cut it off the end there. And this happens to be because my ends are flat. And there you go. It's a paper ruffle. Okay? These are really, really, really not hard. You can make them as long as you want. This is a 12-inch strip. You could make it, I mean, I've got, this came from a 12-inch strip. This came from, no, that came from an 11-inch strip. This came from a little strip like this. So like that long. And I got that. I want to say this was a almost 12-inch strip. You know, so whatever paper you've got. Also, Tina cut hers, so she had flat edges. I kind of like the torn edge, but again, however you want to do it is how you do it. It's your thing. You can also make these as wide as you want. Okay. Or as narrow as you want. And on some of these, you know, if they're uneven, the white is going to show through from the other side. To me, that's fine. When you go to use the ruffle, you can just ink it. I mean, I feel like a good dose of ink would work there. Okay, and again, I'm just going to, I think maybe we'll put the glue on the strip. Make sure it's long enough. Okay, and then you're just going to take this and you're going to put it at the top of your ruffle and you're going to mash the whole thing flat. With all the folds in it. It's misbehaving. Okay? And you're just going to put it flat. And there you have it, a ruffle. One of the other ways that Tina did it was, I feel like this is going to be a relatively short video, guys. Maybe when we start getting the decorative stuff out to do the strips up the middle, it might get a little... the other thing you can do, if you want, is you can take as you go and you can put a dot of glue. Oh, that's probably not a dot. Glue it down. Now, this might take you a minute. And you can always do all the folding first and then go back and do the glue. So if I fold this whole thing up, fold this whole thing up, and then I just take it and dot, dot. You just have to make sure you get it far enough back that it's underneath the flap, or put it on the flap. That way you know it's back far enough. Now, it's wanting to curl, but when you go to glue it down on your page, obviously it'll flatten out. Who knows, when we put if we put a piece of trim in there, it might flatten it out. Okay? So, yeah, this one wants to curl. And I'm just going to run this over the folds. I don't know if this will help any. A little bit. Okay, so you can do that. So we have that method. There's a couple of different methods for holding these together. Let me get this. Let's do this one. So if I fold this up, and you can, like I said, you can make the ruffle as narrow or as wide as you want. We're going to make this one a skinny, we're going to make skinny folds on this one. And the next method we're going to look at is staples. Now, staples are one of those things where you want to try and catch as many ruffles as you can in a staple. Tina was using her tiny attacher, so her staples were smaller. My staples are going to be wide enough to catch quite a few pieces, and you just want to go up the middle of your ruffle. And if you keep them all, if you get them all tacked down, ooh, that's way over. Yikes. Nice thing about staples is you can take them out. So I don't want it over that far because that won't necessarily get covered up. The thing about the staples is, like my staples are green, and that's not necessarily a color I would put with this, but when I take this ruffle and I put trim up the middle, I'll just cover the staples up. But you can staple it and try to catch, I missed that one, but try to catch as many of the ruffles as you can. It minimizes the number of staples you use. You wouldn't staple for every ruffle. Now, of course, the wider you make your ruffle, the wider you make this space, the more staples you're going to have to use to catch ruffles. Okay, that's the staple method. Okay, so we've done the hot glue, and the staples, and the other one is to run it through your sewing machine. So you would take this up to your sewing machine, and I think the best way to do it would be to run trying to think. I think it would be best to run it through this way. So you take it and run it through your run it through your sewing machine this way. I think. I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Okay. I might try running a couple through the sewing machine just to see how they turn out. I don't know, like, that's card. I don't know if I should run that through my sewing machine. So how's everybody been doing? Like I said, we had a power outage, so that was fun. I might find out tomorrow what happened, only because I think tomorrow, it's Monday, tomorrow's co-op day, and I think I know somebody who was near the transformer that got taken out, so I might hear a little bit tomorrow about what happened, and maybe I can come back and report. But yeah, we had a power outage. I don't like that end. I don't mind this end. I don't like this end. And there's always the opportunity to go like that. Okay. See, now that one I could probably put stitching through. That's just paper. This one, I think I'm going to... I have a strip, don't I? I lost my file folder strip, guys. Is this all that's left? I don't know if this is long enough. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so we're going to do this. I like this method. This is nice and simple. Plus, it uses up these file folder scraps I've got. So, that's always a bonus. Sorry, my husband is upstairs watching TV, and I don't know what he's watching. That's a blower you hear in the background. That's my pellet stove. I turned it on, and when you first turn it on, it heats up, and then it blows. It gets to a certain point, and then it blows the hot air out into the room. So that's the blower. Assuming that you can hear it, which a lot of times I feel like the pellet stove, I'm always hearing the pinging in my videos when I'm editing. I'm like, oh, I guess you can hear the pellet stove. This might be another one I can run a stitch through. As far as, I don't know. I haven't watched any decent movies that would be worth noting recently, so I have been watching Inspector Lewis with my son. He sits and watches with me at night after I've finished everything up and I don't have anything left to do and we're upstairs, and he sits and watches TV with me. So... Some of these you'll see are torn on one side but not on the other. I don't know. You know, it gives one side of the ruffle some texture. If worse comes to worse, I can always like add some lace or something to that bottom part. That's a short one. Trying to see in this little pile. This is the strips. Remember when we did edge strips? This is my strips from that. And I'm just using them up for this. So yeah, if you're doing a project and you have some leftover torn strips like this, make ruffles. Actually, I think I'm going to tear that short. I don't want that. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these up to my sewing machine and I'm going to run these through, and then I'll bring them back down and show them to you. And then we'll get the trim box down and we'll go over, we'll lay some trims on these. Okay. All right. So here we go. So these I took up, and as you can see, I ran them through my sewing machine, each one with a different sized zigzag stitch. You could do a straight stitch through the middle. All you're trying to do really is tack it down. The zigzag adds a little bit of decoration on these darker ones. On these ones, I may still put trim on there, or maybe I just put some trim and kind of like include the zigzag in the decoration. But so there's our method. So you can sew them. You can glue the ruffle layers down with your hot glue gun. You can put this strip up the back. Or you can staple them. All right. And these are all methods for putting your ruffles together, or holding your ruffles together. So we've got quite a few here. Let me get my trim box. Okay. Actually, you know what I should have done before I brought you back was pick all these up. I'm not going to make any more ruffles today. All right. So now I have my trim box here. And basically, you just want to go in here and look for stuff. I don't necessarily know that ribbons would be the right call. That's kind of thick. Wide, I mean. I do have some narrow... I have some really narrow red rickrack, which might be good on this. Narrow rickrack's going to be a tough one to lay down, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay, you ready? I think this looks really cute on here. So we'll take this, and you can do this with anything. I mean, you can put anything you want in these. Just going to run a little bit of glue along the rickrack. Hopefully that's enough to stick it. And I'm just trying to center it up so it would look like it's running down where I would normally stitch it. And there you go. Ruffle decorated. I like it. Where's my... There's always something missing on my desk. Just kind of making sure that it's nice and stuck. Okay. And there we go. A little ruffle with a rickrack center. I like that. Like that? Okay. Let's see what else we could do. You can also put bling on these. So like I have this length of, it's green though, so I don't know if I have anything it goes with. Might go with this. I just want one strip. Yeah, I know I stitched this one, but no, I kind of like that on there. Let's take the backing paper off of it. it's adhesive on its own, but I usually put a little bit of, get up here in the camera. A little bit of hot glue. And just lay this in it. Hopefully relatively straight. Okay. Might cut all the threads off where I sewed it. I don't need them anymore. There you go. This one's kind of flat. I mean, I guess you could mess with the ruffles now that you've got it glued together. You could kind of mess with these and make them sit up more, maybe. So it's a little more three-dimensional. Might want to wait till all your glue is dry. But anyway, so there's that. Let's see what else we can find. I'm liking this little idea here. We got this little guy. When I say little guy, I mean little guy. It's all that's left. I don't know that it goes with any of these papers. I might have to make a ruffle out of something else to do this. Yeah, I don't really like that with any of these. Okay. Well, I mean, I have a ton of stuff. Here's more rickrack. I think rickrack looks really good on these. This is a little wider. I mean, what's not to like, right? I will say the method where you glue a strip to the back kind of keeps them 3D-ish, whereas when you sew them down, it definitely flattens them out. So if that makes a difference to you. I'm going to start this and then I'm going to do it a little at a time. Oh. Yikes. All right. Well, I said a little at a time. We're just going to start it and do the rest of it. All works. Okay. Now, I got a lot of hot glue on my fingers, though. I would probably clean it up a little after it dries. There's a few strings of hot glue and, of course, all over my fingers again. But that's really cute. I like that. Nice thing about this is the white that shows on the other side of that paper's been coffee dyed, so that's kind of, I'm going to leave its tail for now. What else? I was just thinking with all these trims I've got in here, there had to be stuff I could use on this. But, I don't know. The zigzags have been the best. In my opinion so far. I say the zigzags. The rickrack. The little rickrack. That's been my favorite so far. I've got pink. Do we have anything pink? Yeah. I got wide rickrack. Stop it. We already decided you are not a part of the party. You could do wide rickrack. That color pink is not the right color pink. I know, now I'm just getting picky. Oh, I got this black and white. Let's see what this, if I could put this on something. Ooh. It's like a black and white fuzzy trim. I'm sure I could put this on something, right? Do we like that on there? We don't actually know. Do we like it on here? I think I like it better on the music. Not that you can't have it on both. I just think I like it better on the music. Yeah. I do like it though. Okay, let's do this one. I think I'll do this one, and then this is going to be kind of a short video, guys. I'm just going to let you guys go because you get the idea of how this works. Oh, wait. One more. I might put that on there. Okay. Let's do this one. Do about halfway. I think it goes this way. Okay. And then the other half. And like I said, I mean, you want your trims to look nice, so it's a little harder, but this will hold your ruffle together too. This strip, if you use this on the front, that'll hold your ruffle, just like this does. It's just doing it on the front. So if you're patient enough to put your trim on the front before you've stapled it or stitched it or anything like that, your trim will hold your ruffle. That's kind of cute. I like that one. All right. Put that up there with scrap trim and stick this back in my box. And then my other one that I wanted to do was this guy here. I think this one would make cute trim on here. Ooh, maybe this should go down. I don't know, guys. I wonder if you could decorate the ruffle up. Let's do an experiment. How about this? Yes. All right, so I'm going to put it here. So it's going to come to here. This trim is too bulky to go under that label. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this off right here. All right, and then we'll ink this guy and we'll have decorated one. This is kind of fun. So if you've got any little pieces like this, you could stick a little flower or a little something on your ruffle and kind of dress it up a little bit like that. Like I said, guys, tons of fun. You should give these a try. Paper ruffles. Another way to use up some of those scraps in your box that aren't going anywhere anytime soon. And yeah, I mean, I always like using up scraps, right? So give these a shot. So we did, like I said, we did a couple of different methods for making them stay together. We did a couple decorations. We did some bling. We did some rickrack and some trim. And then here we decorated this one a little bit. So yeah, give these a shot, guys. They're a lot of fun and a great way to use up scraps and little doodads. And I will see you guys tomorrow with day 81. Bye-bye.